How you define sustainability, but basically for us, we try to bring the land back to what it was prior to disturbances, right? So by removing the facilities at the well site, for example, if it's a well site, by removing those facilities and then try to put it back to its former land use, and the land use is decided between the landowner and the company doing the reclamation. So whether it's back to forestry, back to agriculture, and the monitoring that goes with it to ensure that there's no risk to the environment, no risk to the people living in these communities. So this is how we ensure that it's back to production again, to productivity. Yeah. It's rewarding. I always tell people, look at our own footprint. We depend upon the land for our fiber, food, and resources, whether it's how we go about our everyday life. Think about our own footprint and what's that costing? Where does it come from? We have to be honest about it. I always believe in, I said, honesty and honest business. We have to be honest to ourselves, true to ourselves, and think about all the resources we need to get by daily, and where's that coming from? And what are you doing to keep that footprint to a minimum? So we at Ridgeline, we are just one of the companies. There are many more out there doing research, trying to find answers to what's work, what doesn't work. And we take those innovations, those learnings, and we bring that back to work, and we try to implement them. And of course, we work with regulators, where regulators provide the oversight of the work we are doing, make sure it's done to the standard, to the most highest standard. In fact, Alberta had the first Department of Environment in the country, and much of our legislation and the work we do are first in the world, or top notch, despite to what people may hear like, oh, all is bad, or like we should not be doing that. So we do lots of reclamation also, which we don't talk a lot about it. So we should talk about some of the good work we are doing in terms of land restoration. Basically talk about it, show some of the work we're doing, how many people we are employing, and again, what the land looks before and how does it look now. Of course, there's lots of work still to be done. And of course, even with green energy, we talk about mining and so on, right? About mining for metals and so on in order to build those green batteries, solar panels and so on. Still, where is that coming from? We have to disturb the land in order to do that. But at the same time, we have to reclaim those land. So think about our own footsteps. I mean, our own footprint, right? That's what I would say to them. To us, I put a couple of my own contact information there, and Maddie does the HR at Ridgeline. And if you have the skills, you have education, give us a shout. And right now, I think quite a number of companies are looking for good people to work, just because the amount of activities going on, it's amazing. And environment, like I said, it's a huge subject areas, and it's rewarding. I spent about 34 years there. It's very rewarding, and everywhere I go, like I always said, the land speaks to you. Look at it, whether it's a reclaimed land or not, you will feel the rewards. Based on what you see being done, you will feel good. When you feel good about yourself, you feel the reward. Yeah. But do call us if you're interested to find out more. Yeah. It takes about 6 months. When we get somebody, you have to be sure, it's not only the safety tickets what we got, right? Somebody needs to have willing to learn, like the enthusiasm to learn. You cannot make them learn. If somebody is interested to try their hands at different things, you start with that. And the education component, like I said, you can work as long as you want with us. That's why in some communities, you will see people that have worked in the oil and gas industry for 18 years, but they don't have education to build a career path. So they jump from job to jobs, always looking for jobs. And if somebody is willing to learn, and we build those partnership with the institution, and of course, it has to be aligned with the timing of the institution. So if you have a group of 5 to 10, then you can make it work, because it costs the schools money in order to provide instructors. And Ridgeline try to provide some of my time to teach, to help teach some of the course. But still you need people from the schools to provide instructors, to coordinate, and do the competency assessment to be sure whatever they are learning, they are doing, they meet the standards set by the government, because the Ministry of Education set those standards, those learning outcomes, and the school has to be sure that those outcomes are met. So if you spend about 6 months to 1 year with us, it will depend upon the school. Then they assess you, you do your exam, you do your assignment, you get those credits. Then, of course, we encourage you to register to the school, to continue, then, to get those, to finish, to complete those credits in order to get your diploma. And many schools nowadays, like if you don't complete the diploma, they will give you a certificate, but then it will be an approved certificate by post-secondary education, which is more valid. You can take it throughout the country or even abroad, and you can do work. So you don't, every time there's a project, nobody can tell you that, hey, you don't have education, because now you can take that piece of paper and show, guess, not only my experience, I do have education now, right? And of course, also the schools are coming up with those micro credits, micro learning. So this is a recently new thing, or badges. Even they will give you a badge, this will be from a recognizable institution, right? So that's what we're trying to do. Like it's up to anything from 6 months, couple of years to get the diploma, right? But anything like a good 6 months, you're learning on the job, earning those credits while instead of a classroom.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems like a rewarding career path. So I think as far as 6 months training goes, I mean, from what you showed, it seems like there's a lot to learn. So 6 months actually seems a little light. It's there's a ton of stuff, but it seems very, very rewarding. So
sure, the one we did from BC, like from last year, all of them that stayed was 16. All of them are full-time employment, and only about 4 of them went back to school. They at least when indicated they went back to school to get that diploma, but all of them are working. And those that are working indicated that now I can do the job with more confidence. It's the confidence that allowed them to do the job. And some of them say, we do this, but we don't know why we do that. But now at least we understand the science behind it, why we do things a certain way. So even those comments are very rewarding, make you feel good about what you did. So it's not for everybody. It's a long-term learning process, but at the same time, you're working towards something. You're building those career pathways. Our environment, right? All those trainings we do, all those courses and so on, it provides us a framework in order for us to protect this environment, to be sure that it's for us and for the future generation. Those are very important. You can see with COVID, like how many people we want to get out to, to trails, partaking activities, like in the mountains, rivers. People are everywhere because they want to get out and connect with nature. And connecting with nature is very important. And land reclamation is basically like you have all those activities. And land reclamation technically is about putting the soils back on the land. But remediation is all about if there's contamination, a potential contamination, then you remediate. So if there's no contamination, you don't have to remediate. All you do is land reclamation, put the soils back, make sure it has all the all the vegetation and so on in order to support that growth. And of course, when, like I said, depending whether it's in the forested areas, the green areas, or the white areas, which is the agricultural areas, it's rewarding. Like, even driving down the country, you see those farmland all in crops and so on, right? It gives you that good feeling, that rewards, right? It's all about connecting back to nature. Yeah, so that's why I think, because whatever is there, it has to be reclaimed. We cannot just leave it and walk away. So we have to do something about it. And that's why the science, the work experience, the investment that the government put, all goes back to what's making sure that the land is there for future generations. It's the people with whom we're doing partnerships. When we started, our indigenous workforce was like none. Now a good 10% of our workforce are indigenous. Like, I don't have the latest numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 10% are indigenous. So not only guys, but women also. And many of the partners, with those communities, we don't hire them directly. Some of them, we hire them directly, and many of them are hired through the partnership with the communities. So in fact, the real numbers are way higher. And of course, that depends upon the funding, the economic activity. And so, yeah, it's interesting, like I said, we have more communities that we are talking to, but we haven't done those partnerships yet. As we build those capacity, and of course, we'll expand. Yeah.
Amazing. Jay, I think that brings us to the end of our time, but I just wanted to thank you again for sharing your expertise, your wealth of knowledge, and honestly, just taking the time to join us. We so appreciate it.
No, you guys are welcome. Like I said, when I met Lily, it was awesome to meet her. And like I said, I look forward to meet you guys. And no, it's a beautiful field. Like, I have a rewarding career and I'm still enjoying it. And so I hope you guys, people who are listening, the audience, will think about it and give it a shot, And one of the VP at Ridgeline, we said, instead of having the bull in the front and the cart at the back, we put the cart in the front. So this way, we give you the opportunity to try at different things. If this doesn't work, it's okay. You can try something else. Make it something you want to do, right? Find your passion, and that's very important. If you have passion, you can do everything. So find your passion by doing that. Thank you so much. It has been great.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and
Sure.
Take care.
Fantastic, Jay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.